Have you ever stopped to wonder, what if being too nice is actually holding you back in your relationships? Today, we're diving deep into the mystery of the so-called nice guy. These are the men who see themselves as the ideal partner, respectful, thoughtful, and kind, the type of man every woman should want. And yet, time after time, they're overlooked. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Being nice isn't always enough. In fact, in many cases, it might even be working against you. We're going to unpack why and how the ancient philosophy of Stoicism can offer a surprising solution. Built on the 4 cardinal virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, Stoicism doesn't just encourage us to be good, it challenges us to be balanced. This video isn't just about relationships, it's about becoming a stronger, more grounded man, not by changing who you are, but by refining how you show up in the world. So, if you've ever found yourself feeling ignored despite your kindness, if you're tired of hearing, "You're such a great friend," while someone else wins her heart, or if you're simply curious how Stoic principles can completely shift your dynamic with others, then this video is for you. And if you find value in what we explore here, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more content rooted in timeless wisdom, and share this with a friend who could use a Stoic lens on love and connection. Let's begin. Being nice isn't a romantic strategy. A lot of good men fall into this trap. They believe that kindness alone should guarantee romantic interest. They assume that being respectful, generous, and agreeable will automatically earn them love. But Stoicism teaches something different. Act with virtue, not with expectation. Being kind is admirable. But if your kindness is a means to an end, if you're nice because you want her to like you, then it's not genuine. And deep down, people can sense that. They might not be able to put it into words, but something feels off. Why? Because real kindness isn't transactional. You're not kind so that someone falls in love with you. You're kind because it's the right thing to do, regardless of outcome. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, said it best. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. If your politeness is driven by a hidden desire for validation, it's no longer rooted in virtue, it's a strategy. And that strategy often backfires. Women may appreciate kind men. They may enjoy their company. But appreciation isn't the same as attraction. Romantic energy requires tension, polarity, chemistry. And just being agreeable doesn't create that spark. In fact, if you're always playing it safe, you might come off as boring, or worse, manipulative. The Stoic approach flips the script. Instead of asking, "What can I do so she likes me?" ask, "What would a wise and just man do?" regardless of her response. Don't perform kindness. Embody it, but also embody courage. Speak up, take space, show confidence. Because true attraction doesn't stem from perfection, it comes from presence. Don't hide who you are. Many good men make a critical mistake. They suppress parts of themselves to appear more acceptable. They tone down their opinions, their humor, their interests, afraid of being too much, too weird, or too different. But in doing so, they betray their authenticity. Think about how you act with your closest friends. You're relaxed, you joke freely, you don't walk on eggshells. And guess what? That's the version of you people actually like the most, the real you. Now, think about what happens when you're around someone you're attracted to. Do you suddenly become overly polite? Careful with your words? Do you avoid disagreeing just to keep the peace? That shift might seem harmless, even respectful, but it often comes across as fake, and fake doesn't attract. Women are intuitive. They can feel when someone is hiding behind a mask. When you're too careful, too eager to please, too agreeable, It doesn't read as kind, it reads as insecure. Stoicism reminds us, your duty is not to be liked. Your duty is to live in accordance with your nature. Be honest, be firm, be joyful, be curious, be you. If you like video games, say it. If you love poetry, share it. If you disagree with something, express it respectfully. Authenticity is magnetic, far more than perfection. You don't have to fit into anyone's ideal checklist. In fact, when you stop trying to be the perfect man, you become the most powerful man in the room. Because now, you're not performing, you're living. Stop leading with your wallet. Let's get something straight. Showing off your bank account will never earn you real love. Yes, financial stability is attractive, but wealth in itself is not a personality trait. If you think driving an expensive car or wearing designer labels will make you irresistible, you're chasing the wrong kind of attention. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you have, it's about who you are when you step out of that car. True attraction is built on personal qualities, confidence, honesty, resilience, and emotional strength. These inner virtues leave a far greater impression than anything money can buy. So, stop trying to impress with your wallet. Focus instead on developing your character. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." What matters most is not your possessions, but the quality of your presence. Show humility, show strength, show grounded self-respect, and that will echo louder than any designer logo ever could. Don't beg for applause. Here's a mistake many nice guys make. They feel the need to announce their goodness. They tell others, "I'm not like those bad guys," and wait for praise as if being decent earns them a medal. But here's the truth. Real goodness doesn't need to advertise itself. If your acts of kindness come with the hidden hope of being rewarded or admired, they lose their value. The Stoic path teaches us to do the right thing, not for approval, but because it's right. Let's say you help a friend move. You spend your whole weekend lifting furniture, organizing their space, and expect a thank you. But what if it never comes? If your motivation was recognition, you'll feel hurt or frustrated. But if your intention was to simply help, then whether or not you're thanked won't disturb your inner peace. The same applies to how you treat women. If your politeness is simply a way to win affection or attention, it becomes manipulative, even if you don't realize it. Do good because you believe in it, not because you're hoping for something in return. That's the Stoic way. Don't become a people-pleasing machine. Have you found yourself always saying yes? Agreeing to every request, even when it inconveniences you? This is a common trap for men who try to prove their worth through constant favors. But endless yes responses don't build attraction. They signal weakness, not value. Stoicism teaches self-respect. It reminds us that personal boundaries matter. A man who constantly sacrifices his time, energy, and comfort just to be liked is not admirable. He's exhausting. Consider two men. Burke says yes to everything his female friend Delara asks. He fixes things, cancels plans for her, helps her move. He's always available. At first, she appreciates it, but soon she starts taking him for granted. She doesn't see him as confident or desirable, but as someone she can call when she needs something. Then there's Cavance. He's kind too, but he knows when to say no. He values his time and respects his schedule. When Delara asks for help, he considers if he truly can, and if not, he politely declines. Guess who she respects more? By respecting yourself, you teach others how to treat you. And when you hold firm boundaries, you're not being selfish. You're being wise. Don't avoid the game. Master it with integrity. Nice guys often hate the idea of playing games in relationships. They want things to be honest, clear, and straightforward. And while that sounds noble, it can backfire. Because the early stages of romance, like it or not, involve nuance. Not manipulation, not dishonesty, but subtlety, playfulness, a bit of mystery, a bit of tension. These are not tricks, they're part of human chemistry. If you reveal everything too soon, your feelings, intentions, plans, you remove the thrill. You skip the dance, and in doing so, you often skip the spark. Imagine Murad meets Hilal. He's sincere. He immediately declares his interest and lays everything on the table. Hilal, however, appreciates a bit of chase, of curiosity, of unfolding. By being too open, Murad kills the momentum. Stoicism teaches balance, and this is one of those times when less is more. So don't fake anything, but don't dump your heart out all at once either. Let the connection unfold, invite interest rather than demand it. Build anticipation and enjoy the rhythm of the exchange. Authenticity is crucial, but timing and delivery matter just as much. Stop hiding behind excuses. A lot of good men say things like, "I'm too short," "I'm not fit enough," "I'm not rich or stylish." These are excuses, plain and simple. They create the illusion that your dating struggles are beyond your control. But guess what? Attraction isn't about your height or your bank balance. It's about how you carry yourself. It's about your mindset, your presence. A man who believes in himself, regardless of what he looks like, will always have a magnetic edge. So instead of saying, "I'm not tall enough," ask, "Am I confident enough? Am I passionate about something? Am I growing into the kind of man I admire?" That's what women respond to. Not perfection, but presence. Not wealth, but grounded strength. Take care of yourself. Challenge your insecurities. Invest in your passions. Develop inner peace, inner power, and watch how the world responds. Final reflection. Being good isn't enough. As we close this chapter, take a moment to reflect on everything we've uncovered. Being good is valuable, but being good with expectation is a trap. Stoicism teaches us to act with virtue, not for applause, not for affection, not for rewards, but because it is right. Don't suppress who you are, don't overgive, don't wait in the shadows, and most importantly, stop shaping yourself to be what others might want. Shape yourself into a man you deeply respect. The one who doesn't chase approval. The one who doesn't beg to be noticed. The one who stands firm, even when the world doesn't notice. Because real power doesn't come from being liked. It comes from knowing you've lived with honesty, courage, and integrity. Thank you for walking this journey with me. If you felt a shift, if something clicked deep inside, drop a comment that says, "No more approval seeking." And remember, you don't need to prove you're a good man. You just need to become one. Quietly, steadily, relentlessly.